All right, good afternoon again, everyone. We'll just be starting here in just a couple of minutes. I just wanted to welcome you. My name is Bill Rhodes. I'll introduce myself again at the start of the hour here. But if you have any questions at all during the presentation, please use the chat session. We'll be sure to answer them that way. All right, good afternoon, everyone. We're right at the start of our hour. I can see a lot of people dialing in right now, so I'm gonna spin plates for about a minute or two to let everybody get dialed in and all set up. Again, my name is Bill Rhodes. I'm the Director of Channel Sales here at Buffalo Americas. We have come across an interesting solution that's been vetted between Buffalo, Scale, and Eaton. We've had a lot of success selling this with our partners, especially now during the slower COVID time points. And we're excited to talk to everyone about it today. It's not overly common that you hear hyperconverged technology and NAS all in the same combination from a solution perspective. For those of you who are Buffalo sellers, I hope that you are aware that the power management feature with the Eaton products is built into the Buffalo operating system. So the full safe shutdown and power restore capabilities are all included. There's no fees or charges. You simply just load that and turn that option on in the UI. So for now, I will ask Jacob Smith, who's our presenter from Scale, to launch the presentation. Today, we're lucky enough to have three presenters, two Canadian partners of ours from the technology perspective. Jacob Smith, who's the country manager for Scale Computing, which really this is the bread and butter of the solution. Susan Fraser, who's our channel manager for Canada with Buffalo Americas. I give Susan a lot of credit for this solution. She really sniffed this out and started putting this this whole gang of three vendors together to vet the entire solution out, and we've rolled it out successfully many times already this year. And then we have Elizabeth Bagnus from Eaton, who's going to talk more about the power management component. So at this point in time, I will be silent. I'll be working in the background on the chat section. So if you have any questions at all, please, I'd encourage everyone to use the chat section. We'll respond to you through the entire Q&A period, but also throughout the presentation. We will have different polls throughout the presentation as well, just asking some quick kind of some market feedback on some different key points that we would like to kind of capture your opinions on. So at this point, I'll turn it over to Jacob Smith. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bill. Hey, everybody. Can you hear me okay? Am I coming through?
Yes, it's great.
Great, awesome. So I appreciate everybody's time. Elizabeth, Susan, myself, Bill, we've been working quite closely in bringing a solution that's cost-effective, simple, scalable, and it provides the building blocks for business resiliency, which is what organizations across North America are looking for. If you look at the statistics, a majority of the businesses out there are looking for cost effectiveness, are looking for simple, and we were either scrounging together solutions to try to build a business continuity solution in the face of COVID, and faced with doing whatever we could or piecing together expensive solutions and trying to make it work. But we've stumbled upon something that's been helping people in every vertical save some money and get these enterprise grade solutions and features that they're looking for at a cost that's actually reasonable and built for the SMB, small, medium businesses. And so I'm going to start with some observations that we've made just in working together over the last few months. We've seen certain sectors doing quite well. There's been a high demand. They've almost not been impacted. The only thing they've been trying to do is, set up work from home or continuing business as normal and accommodating their growth. But it doesn't matter really the industry that people are in. We're seeing people turn on to a new way of working as COVID comes to a little bit of normalcy in our lives. And whether it's retail or other verticals that you might be selling into, or you might be a customer in a specific sector, we all still have a very interesting predicament in front of us, which is how do we face an unknown situation like COVID? How do we prepare ourselves for that by building a solution that allows us to be resilient in the face of circumstance like COVID? So we did happen to see public sector, manufacturing, engineering, and all these services that were crucial to an economy continuing to run and still benefiting from this newfound interest in reducing costs. But similarly to them, everybody's come online, whether your business is back at it, looking for a cost-effective solution. And so as COVID came about, people reacted to the situation. You'll see a mass purchase of laptops and just trying to get what they could and piece together something that we weren't necessarily all prepared for because the solution was quite expensive and the need wasn't there. But now we're in this phase 2 of reinventing our businesses and looking for something that it provides the building block to then build things like a VDI solution, or whether or not our businesses are faced with another sort of disaster of sorts, how do we equip ourselves with the ability to withstand it and be prepared for that? And so a lot of this content with Buffalo, Eaton, and Scale Computing is designing a business resiliency solution that is VDI enabled and is 50% less expensive than some of the solutions out there, and it's all unified in a single platform. And so we're seeing businesses in this phase 2 of the approach to our economic circumstances. And something that's been spurring this even more, and one of the potent parts of our discussion here is VDI, is ransomware attacks. Hackers and attackers have taken the advantage of people being outside of their protected networks. And this quote here is quite nice. It's just easier to hack somebody that's outside of the corporate environment. And so many organizations are also looking at security and saying, well, this is a newfound thing based on how we set things up during the COVID. And so business resiliency is what we have come together to assist people with. Today, disaster recovery and high availability and backup are essential, whether it's a ransomware attack or any sort of disaster that were to inflict a business. We need to have our solutions provide this as a mandatory minimum. And within our solution, we provide a very cost-effective approach to this. Business resiliency also means being able to work from anywhere, get your data on any device, anywhere, and in a cost-effective manner with security built into every single component of it, be it the backup, be it the remote users, and the corporate network. And then obviously a backup being a staple to this. We have Buffalo that has synced up with us to do something that we're not able to do on our own. We need the support of Buffalo in order to offer a cost-effective way to secure your data, store it for long term. And something that allows you to scale. You don't necessarily need to buy all of this at once, or look at a solution that requires you to purchase everything at the exact same time. You could buy what you need today and scale up, knowing that the cost is quite effective. So the building block to this is the scale computing infrastructure, which is Hyperconvergence. And for those of you that might not be familiar with it, it is simply the convergence of server, storage, and virtualization in an all-in-one platform. you can manage your entire data center, your entire private cloud from an HTML5 browser. And so you are purchasing a single device, a server that comes packed with everything that you need, the enterprise grade features, a hypervisor, and you manage it as simply as signing into a secured HTML5 browser. And we're talking about spinning up virtual machines in 3 clicks, a couple minutes. A box of this could arrive. You can unbox it, rack and stack it, and have production virtual machines up and running, be it VDI or be it an ERP system, in less than an hour. And so it truly is a simplified approach to building out your own private cloud. You can disperse this across multiple locations. We have a 6,700 location retail giant using our servers across every one of their locations, and they're managing it centrally. And their ROI was in the millions with just the first few hundred sites being done. But we scale all the way down to very small businesses, and that's primarily our value proposition between us 3 organizations. We've taken this complexity of having to piece together a vendor for every component of your data center and merged it into a unified solution with one throat to choke, one browser to manage it all, and a unified experience to just simplify it. In Canada in particular, where I live, 90% of the businesses that exist in our economy are small businesses, and they don't necessarily have the experience or expertise and time and money to piece something together. And so they're looking at things like cloud because it promises this story of unification, simplicity, one vendor to call. But the problem is the costs can be quite exorbitant, whereas we've been built and designed for these SMBs, these small, medium businesses, or these distributed enterprises that are looking to accomplish the exact same thing: consolidation, simplification, and savings. And in the face of business resiliency, being able to do it at a cost that is impressive. I haven't seen an ROI or a comparison versus 3-2-1 infrastructure or a competitor of ours or cloud that wasn't 30 to 50% less expensive while still delivering those enterprise features that you're looking for. Now, often people will say, I've heard of hyperconvergence, I've never heard of scale computing. What's the difference between you, the traditional approach to IT, some of the other players out there? Well, the first thing is we've designed, and we are the only vendor who has the smallest software footprint in the HCI space, the hyperconverged infrastructure space. So our competition consumes about 30 to 36 gigs of RAM per server. Our software takes less than 4 gigs of RAM. And we're actually fitting on servers where our software is taking less than a gig of RAM. And this has a pretty large impact in the cost of the solution. Our competitors also have a robust software that requires 12 cores to be assigned to it. We consume less than a fraction of a core. And where this really comes into play, especially in our partnership with Buffalo and Eaton, is that we can fit on servers that fit in the palm of your hand. So these servers on the far left here fit in between your thumb and your index finger. Our competition starts in about $90,000 for a solution. We start as low as $3,000. And so we're built for the SMB. We're even in situations where you can compete against, let's say, a law firm that might have a single server. We're able to give them 3 servers for the price of 1 and have high availability at the edge. And with these small nooks here, we've been able to do great things with Buffalo and Eaton. And what we're going to be presenting here in just a few slides is a data center in a box for a starting point around $10,000. And that would include an outfit of nooks, a NAS, local and offsite, and an Eaton power supply to ensure you have resiliency across data protection, power, servers, virtual machines, etc., in an all-in-one, easy-to-manage, cost-effective solution. And so this is our big differentiation in the market. And these smaller form factors have been a great addition to our portfolio, where you're able to outfit perhaps an organization with 10 sites, 20 sites, 100 sites, or thousands, and they need a localized server to run a small file server Active Directory, or even do something automated like IoT in a manufacturing plant, and have no need to have IT on site. And you'll often see that in many organizations where their IT teams are centralized. And it's also a really great fit for managed service providers who happen to be a centralized IT team, and their customers are their edge sites, and you could deploy servers across all your edge and manage it all centrally, add in your Buffalo, add in your Eaton, and it's a comprehensive business resiliency platform. And great. So integrated with Buffalo is something that we've been able to assist customers accommodate this cost effectiveness that our story relays. And the two biggest fits that we have seen with them is on pretty much every project we're in, you'll have a local NAS and the option of geo-redundant NAS with Buffalo at a secondary location, or we're integrated with the cloud and sending data to a local NAS and to the cloud. It's because of them that we've been able to do deployments where our individual NUCs are connected to a NAS, opening up even more storage, active file sharing, or more space for virtual machines to fit in at a price point that nobody can compete with. And with that said, I'd like to introduce Susan, who's going to talk a little bit more about all the reasons why we partner so heavily with Buffalo and are helping every customer we have talk about the Buffalo brand. Susan?
I just had to unmute myself. I was enjoying the presentation. So thanks for the introduction, Jacob, and really happy to be working with Scale and Eaton on this solution. As Jacob alluded to, we've seen a ton of traction up here in Canada. I think Bill and I were counting up all the opportunities. There was at least 10 or 12 that we've been working on since we started rolling this out sort of late April, early May. So really excited about the opportunity. And, you know, what Buffalo brings to the party, if you will, as Alan Conroy from Scale calls us, cheap and deep storage. So for, you know, a Cronus backup, for video surveillance backup, for CAD CAM backup, for any files, the way I like to put it is any files that are too large or too private to go in the cloud, you want to keep them on the ground, terrestrial storage. You know, a couple of the areas we're doing really well with is municipalities, education, police forces, airports, anybody who's creating a lot of data and would prefer not to store it on more expensive per terabyte storage. That should be used primarily for, obviously, for production. This is a great solution also for small and medium, as Jacob alluded to. With the NUCs, we're doing a lot of business. We have a big opportunity with the school board right now that, you know, we've got 56 pieces potentially rolling out. Small, the little NUC with the little NAS, and it's perfect, great price effective solution. So a little bit about Buffalo, and I believe we probably have a lot of Buffalo customers on the line, but just a little background for us. We're a 40-year-old Japanese company. All of our products are engineered and purpose-built in Japan for the small, medium marketplace. We do play at the edge of the enterprise, backing up servers and whatnot, but we're primarily focused on small, medium business. We have everything from 4 bays up to 12 bays, partially populated, fully populated, 16 terabytes to 144 terabytes. The NAS that we're looking at here on the screen is our 12-bay 2U rack, which comes with 2 10-gig native connections. So we have a decent speed for a backup device. We can add an extra power if needed, which most people like in the data center solution. And we have excellent warranty. So all Buffalo NAS come with drives, come with rail kits, if it's a rail product, and sorry, a rack product, and also come with warranty. So all of our drives are vetted before they go into our boxes. That way we can guarantee compatibility, and also are able to offer you a chassis and drive replacement warranty for up to 5 years with registration. So we really look after our products. We'll talk a little bit, a few slides down, about some of the awards we won for our customer service. And I think that any of you that have dealt with us know we really try to help the customers, always ready to get on the call. We have some great sales engineers that can get on the calls with us and talk about your solution, what you're looking to do, and how we can help you. So as Bill alluded to earlier in the deck, we are a Cronus partner. We are now working on Scale partnership, Eaton partnership, and we are VM certified. So we've got check all the boxes for a great backup solution. And we're really excited to be working with Scale and Eaton, and looking forward to working with any of you. If you're interested, please let us know and we can get on call and do a deeper dive.
Excellent. And for the audience here, one of the points that we would love your feedback on is a quick polls coming your way regarding your experience with hyperconverged infrastructure. If you've seen it in the market as it stands, or if you're a customer or partner, whether or not you've encountered it, and if it's been seen as an obstacle due to price. Something that Susan has talked about, and Buffalo, Eaton, and myself at Scale, our teams have been working with customers to deliver a review, which just has been showing not just against hyperconverged technologies are we presenting a solution that is about 30% less expensive against traditional architecture, where they're still piecing together servers, storage, virtualization, networking of separate components. We're still coming in more cost effective. So the polls are in. I'm going to close that one. I appreciate the feedback on this one. The results have been shared. And we will head over to our next presenter, Elizabeth, who's going to help fill in the reason why Eaton has been such a powerful partner for us. We've done many events with them around North America. They've been a critical part in ensuring that data centers stay up and running, managed remotely. They share the exact same value approach that we take to the market. I'm very excited to introduce Elizabeth, who's going to talk about how there's such great synergy between our organizations, and why, if thinking about data center, you absolutely must think about Eaton. Elizabeth, over to you.
Thank you so much, Jacob. And as Susan had mentioned, we are very honored to be working with the industry leaders in here. And what you're seeing is a very compelling solution. One of the things that we want to bring to the table in here is that when it comes to business continuity, you may not necessarily be thinking about power at the very onset. And that's what we bring to the table. We want to be able to say that when it comes to business continuity, power disruptions can get to be a very, very big consideration. And so it's always best practice that for something that would be very critically heavy on data, so much so as the infrastructure that you're standing up in here, that you do consider power. And what we offer you are solutions that would organize, manage, and protect. By organize, we mean we give you the racks, the enclosures. By protect, we give you the UPSs that would power these up through a power disruption, and also make sure that you're getting quality power going through and operating your systems. And by manage, we mean an intelligent power manager software that would remotely monitor and manage your power infrastructure over the network, as well as PDUs that would provide you with the distribution of the great distribution throughout the rack of what you need to be powered up. Now, one of the cool things that we have is integration with Buffalo. In this case, we already have a driver that's set up in place where it could automatically detect the Buffalo storage and be able to monitor what's going on with that storage and create actions that are based on power issues. And we talked about cybersecurity earlier, and also the issues of being able to withstand threats. We are very happy to say that we are the first UPS company to be able to offer a communication card that meets both UL and IEC cybersecurity certification requirements, so that we can help you to protect against cybersecurity threats. We also have a 3-year warranty on our UPSs, so you have the peace of mind to make sure that it's not only the UPS, but the battery itself that we've backed up, so that we can keep you up and running. And finally, a power assessment program, because we don't expect you to be the power product or to be the power specialists or the power experts. Let our people do that. It's a simple call away. Just contact any of your Eaton representatives that are in the area. We'll be happy to do this virtually or in person. Just be able to assess what the environment is all about and give you recommendations based on power, and also how to make sure that we're maximizing what we're standing up for you, both with Scale and Buffalo. And to that, let me turn it over to Buffalo.
Thank you, Elizabeth. So we just heard from Buffalo a minute ago, so I don't need to go into too much detail on that front, but what I would like to talk about is Buffalo security. We pride ourselves in being the most secure NAS on the market. while our competition is in the news even this week about threat instances from a lot of apps that they have on their boxes, Buffalo made a conscious choice, the engineering team in Japan, that we would not have third-party apps on our boxes. We only have Buffalo engineered apps on our boxes, so that gives us a great deal of security. We have 256-bit encryption on our boxes and a closed architecture. So obviously, everybody's concerned about security. On top of all the other benefits we give you with the hard drives included and the fantastic warranty and all the support you get from the Buffalo team, you can also be assured that you're also getting a secure box to store your data. And back to you, Jacob.
Great, yeah, and all of our companies have something quite similar in common here. Is we're focused on simplicity, we're focused on scalability. We want to make everybody's data highly available, and we're delivering affordability. And the previous poll showed 80% of people are seeing HCI as a cost prohibitive solution for organizations. And in some situations, 20% of people said that cost wasn't an issue. Often what we'll see in scenarios where we can deliver more for less, or a solution for less versus some of the HCI vendors out there, we're able to free up some of that budget that can go towards other innovative projects within an organization. So despite some of the largest firms having the budget to pay for it, the freeing up of capital has led them to do some other spectacular projects that are driving innovation within their business. We are going to launch one more poll. We're very interested to get your take on the addition of ANAS in your projects to reduce cost and to increase disaster recovery. So I'd appreciate everybody's feedback on that. And while we talk about this, scale computing has some unique patents in the market which allow us to do things that no one else in Hyperconvergence is doing. I invite you to call up the scale computing team, or get in touch with myself, or whether through Buffalo, through Eaton, or to me directly at jsmith@scalecomputing.com. My email will be at the end of the presentation here, and we are happy to share all of this information. We're completely transparent. We have thousands of customers across the globe and that have flocked to review boards to discuss how these solutions work together and how it's transformed their business, and we'd love to share all of that information with you.
Yeah, Jacob, this is Bill Rhodes again. So while everybody's finished with that poll, what I will point out is what we've seen is the iSCSI connection piece, pairing this up with the scale solution is how we're able to drive down the price of Hyperconverge. We've all seen it. We know the other guys out in the market, the Nutanixes of the world. It's a wonderful concept, but it's just out of grasp for small businesses, particularly. I would encourage everybody to really explore it. Reach out to us, reach out to the scale team. We're happy to explain how we can get to that $10,000 starting price point, which is in the budget of every small business, because everybody's either bought a physical server or they've got some kind of a cloud-based server capability. So.
Absolutely, and which brings up a great point. I'm a visual person, and so we've worked together to just showcase what this would look like. And so here's the moment we've been waiting for. It looks exactly like this. We have a data center in a box that is built upon hyperconvergence, the focal point being simplicity, scalability, availability, and affordability. And with the 3 vendors here, we've been able to design a data center starting as low as 10K, including multiple components and even being VDI enabled. And of course, it would scale as a resource requirements grow. But ultimately, if we did a price comparison, we're talking about a large savings, and we're happy to do a unique assessment of a customer's environment with you, and the power assessment, the data center assessment, and propose and present what it would look like to have a data center in a box built for an organization you work for or that you're providing solutions to. You don't necessarily need to purchase all at once, and so you could totally scale into a data center in a box, unified management, very simple, and do it piecemeal. But Scale Computing, Buffalo, and Eaton are giving you the building blocks to build out this cost-effective business resilience platform. And so on the bottom right of the slide deck here, we just wanted to provide a visual representation of what it would look like if you had multi-site and wanted to have data protection dispersed across locations and geo-redundant. And so you can absolutely integrate with the cloud. You can have local dispersed resources and manage all of them centrally and do it at an incredibly affordable cost with some of the products that I've shown earlier in our platform, our portfolio. And so we encourage you to hit us up with any questions and take us up on our offer to run an assessment. There's no cost to it and no obligations. We often say with partners and customers, it's totally fine to have this as an option B. Just be aware of some of the options that are out there, and we'd love to at least present this as an option for certain projects. And we're seeing a whole slew of them, and I've put this together here to just showcase what we're being brought into. So not just the VDI discussion, but in the case of business resiliency, people need a performance-heavy, resilient system in place that is cost effective to run their ERP systems and Active Directory, run their hosting applications, whether it be VDI or other, and managing all of the data within a corporate network. Over the weekend, we had a customer of scale hit with ransomware, and they were able to recover in a couple minutes. And another customer who called in, and the reason they called scale is because they got hit with a ransomware threat and they didn't have a resilient platform in place. And so we're brought in for all of these projects you'll see here, anything pertaining to the data center, and as a trio of vendors, we're able to bring something quite compelling against everything in the market. And as far as the VDI and work from home goes, a lot of that has been discussed. Over the last few months, people were quickly helping companies get set up with work from home. We came in, there's issues like, are devices available? How secure is this? Setting up multiple VPNs is actually creating a vulnerability. And so we're in that phase 2, as I referred to earlier, where people are looking for strengthening these resiliency programs, looking to optimize their data center, and they're looking to build long-term sustainable and cost-effective solutions. And so now's the time to be presenting a solution like this that is able to take some of those concerns and wrap them in a solution that's able to tackle these needs while also prepping them for whatever might come in the future. Our VDI solution is 50 to 70% less expensive than the competitors. In terms of having a platform, having the licenses, and unleashing VPN-less VDI sessions. We give you everything from the infrastructure that is highly available to the VDI capabilities, and you can have that up and running in less than an hour, and it is just as simple to manage as our solution is. And so I really did want to highlight the challenge, just in case you are encountering some VDI products that are out there, or have come across customers that quickly spun up a lot of VPNs and set up a really quick solution to tackle the COVID situation, and now they're looking for something a little bit more long-term. We would take all of these VPN connections and reduce it into a no need for VPN, quick to set up infrastructure that you can have up and running in less than an hour. You can run your sessions from anything. We have a Peloton there as well. So just wanted to showcase that any device anywhere truly is possible at a price point that is appealing to small businesses and medium businesses, BYOD, and tackle the need of cybersecurity at the exact same time. And so the session connects through an agent and a gateway, which then either gives them access to localized desktops or can run an entire session on these small servers. And utilizing Buffalo, we're able to expose even more storage. And as Susan said, Alan Comboy said, in a cheap and deep fashion, which is giving you a ton of data at an incredible cost, satisfying a VDI at a price point that is hard to reach by other solutions out there. And so we think it's important to just highlight the hard work that all three of our companies have done. To some people, you might say this is the first time we've come across your product, but as a solution, we've been working quite well together. Scale Computing has won the #1 virtualized vendor of the year, virtualization platform of the year in 2019, and the #1 hyperconvergence platform last year. And so there's been some really great awards come out that are a testament to our work in the small, medium business space and the distributed enterprise. So have confidence in speaking about all our brands, knowing that it's already been tried and tested by customers, and we've made some pretty significant impacts. And I'll let Buffalo and Eaton speak about theirs because they've done some incredible work. Susan?
Thanks very much again. So as you can see here, Buffalo has won the last 3 years ARC for the Canadians. That's the US version of CDN. For customer service, you can see all the awards we've won. We're looking forward to hearing back on this year's awards. Hopefully we make it a 4-peat. So we're really excited that our customers recognize the level of customer support that we offer. I think it's very important, and Bill and I both, talk about this all the time. It's not just selling the product, it's supporting the product. You want the customer to have a great experience from start to finish, and you want the customer to also say, next time I need storage, I'm going to come back to Buffalo because I know these guys are in my corner. They're here. They have US-based tech support. They have people here in Canada to support them. We have a team, myself, Bill, of course, as my manager, and we've got 2 inside sales guys, Mike and Jim, that are also going to help you if you need anything. So I think any of the customers that are on the line here know that if you need something, if you have a question, if you need something, we'll get right back to you. We're very OCD. So really happy to be a part of this, and I'm going to pass this over to our friends at Eaton.
Great, thanks, Susan. And so for Eaton, we're on the product side. Last year, we just launched a new lithium-ion powered UPS in the 1500 VA range. And I'm just going to give you a sneak peek that in the next few months or so, you're actually going to be seeing higher VA ratings coming from us in this lithium-ion powered UPS category. But we were very proud to have earned this reward because it's a testament from the resellers who've actually come in and voted for this particular product to be on top of the heap here. And what you're seeing would be badges from both CRN and ECN for being the product of choice for the UPS category.
Awesome. And together as a trio of vendors, we've been really happy with these results, but also a customer are always a testament to the great work we've been doing. I think some names that are quite surprising, we localized this into a particular region in Canada, but we do have customers that have flocked the internet forums to talk about all of our solutions and their experience with it. So whether you go online or ask us for specific references, we're always happy to get you in touch with somebody to speak about it outside of a salesperson. But from the largest McDonald's or second largest retail giant in the world, Ahold Delhaize with 6,700 locations, down to small townships and charitable organizations, or one of my favorite, Lindt Chocolates. There's a ton of customers that have gone ahead with this type of strategy and are happy to evangelize it on our behalf, and that's exactly how we've grown. Especially on the scale side, has simply been our net promoter score is 91, and people's willingness to talk about their success with the platform and share it has been a way that we have grown organically. I do want to ask one more poll here, which I'm launching right now, is, we all focus on different accounts, or we work for different businesses that have different needs. We found that cost, simplicity, scalability are big. If you do see a fit, we'd love to know if this is something that would be a fit for your organization. And like I said, there's no pressure, no obligation when you do engage with us. We're happy to give, whether it be pricing, configuration information, assessments, and access to all of our resources at no cost in order to just talk about something that we feel is quite fantastic. And to help facilitate that, we are going to put our contact details on the screen here. Reach out anytime. If you reach out to one of us, you have reached out to all of us. We'll get you connected with the right people. Any question you have will be answered, whether it be partner specific, if you want to learn more about each individual partner program, incentives, digital campaigns that we have that are working well in order to help spread the message, or if you're a customer looking for information on pricing, technical, configuration, references, assessments that are no cost, we're happy to get you connected as well with a local partner and our teams. And Bill, I'll pass it over to you for final words.
Yep, thank you. I just wanted to very quickly just mention where we've seen some success. Susan did also mention this, and at this point, if Jody Bonham from Eaton would like to chime in, I have Jody. I'm trying to unmute Jody. Hopefully I can execute this properly. It now says self-muted, so on Jody's side. But just quickly, where we've seen the most uptick, specifically during the COVID timeframe, gosh, we sure have all seen the S of the SMB just get walloped the hardest. However, we've had significant number of wins coming out of the municipal space, and then now we're starting to see, it's interesting that the education space is still probing, is the best way I would say it. It looks like we're going to be in for a double education scenario this year, where maybe as the schools begin to open back up, the budgets will come around. But there's quite a bit of questions and answers. And then Jody, I just thought you might want to provide some input from the Eaton side about the market conditions.
Sure, thanks very much, Bill. Jody Bonham here, folks. I'm the IT channel manager for Eaton Power Quality in Canada, and thank you to the team at Scale Buffalo and our own Elizabeth Magnus from Eaton. You guys put on a really succinct, English-speaking, not so Techianese type presentation. So I actually understood everything you said. And to add to what Bill was saying there, different regions across Canada are responding differently as we are embarking upon opening up slowly but surely due to COVID. We are seeing lots of demand coming out of regional and municipal governments, specifically around the emergency first responders. The education market vertical is definitely looking to augment their in-classroom teaching styles and moving to a more online type service as well. Manufacturing, we're kind of lucky in Canada. You know, COVID hit our regions very differently. Larger populated areas got hit a little bit harder than perhaps the rural areas. But the good news is manufacturing is kind of spread across offer the able to help in any way we can.
Okay, well, looks like we had some technical difficulties there, but I will go ahead and turn it back over to Jacob. And what we're going to do, I've seen quite a bit of questions and answers at this point, so I would be happy to go through some of them. Jacob, one of the specific questions that initially came through, let's see. Sorry, I can't see the person that actually asked this question. It would be wonderful if I could. Let's see. Does the solution in a box contain compute, virtualization, storage, RAM, and cloud? And how do you differ from Nutanix? So quite a few different questions in one question.
Yeah, that's great. So it's a comprehensive solution. So it would start with a different outfit. I'll just quickly showcase that here. So, you know, we have the option of different form factors. And so we would first pick the right resources based on the compute need, storage need, and And yes, it does include everything. It just depends on how much. So it would vary based on which form factor. In that data center in a box, we have 2 renditions of that in the 10K market. It'd be a single server or a cluster of 3, starting point being the nooks. And then, but it is all encompassing and all inclusive. So except for the cloud, that being a separate component, and I could talk further or share more information about the cloud. The piece that I will share is that it does integrate well with cloud. You have flexibility on which cloud we're talking about, and I'd love to share more information on anybody that is interested in that information. With regards to the Nutanix question, which we'll get a lot, you'll hear Nutanix is a name that does a fantastic job at marketing. Their big difference is what you see on screen here. So our architecture is on the right side of the screen, and everybody else, including Nutanix, is on the left side of the screen. So I won't speak for them, but what I can say high level is that they've virtualized the SAN, and that approach to, it's called a VSA or a CVM approach to hyperconvergence, and that approach is quite resource intensive. And in order to power a virtualized SAN, it takes more resources. Being RAM, you have to allocate at least 30 to 36 gigs of RAM per server. We do less than 4 gigs of RAM to run our software, and they consume 12 cores approximately, and we consume less than a fraction of a core. And so there's 2 implications there. One, you have to buy more RAM and more processor in order to power their software. What you pay for in RAM and processor in our hardware, you get to use it to power your applications, which allows us to fit on a server as small as the Intel NUC on the far left there, or a Lenovo M720Q. These devices are servers that fit in the palm of your hand, and our starting point can be as low as thousands of dollars for a server, and our competitors are tens and tens of thousands of dollars as a starting point. And so that, hopefully that answers the question. If you'd like to chat further, definitely happy to schedule a deeper dive in some of the differences and a little bit of our patented technology that help us be differentiated in the marketplace. Great question. Thank you for it.
Okay, another question. Well, I'll kind of answer 2 of them here. First, several people have messaged me directly. Will we be able to get a recording of the presentation? Absolutely. We'll even go one step further. If you'd like us to schedule training specifically for your team, please let me know or let us know, and we'll reach out directly to you, and we'll have our teams collectively come in, and we'll host a one-on-one type session for you guys. Additionally, I've had 2 questions so far about NFR products to be able to test out the whole solution. We are 3 different vendors. We do work together. We have 3 different programs. So I can speak specifically for Buffalo. We do have a fantastic NFR program. It's been very successful over the past many years. Perhaps I should throw it over to Elizabeth to mention how people can get their hands on products for testing purposes from Eaton, and then over to Jacob.
For sure. So the email that we have at the very end of this presentation, dusanandnick@eaton.com, is a great place to start. Also, Jody Bonham, who heads up our IT channel sales, will be a great resource for you as well. But first step would be just go ahead and contact Dusan, and we'll get the ball rolling with you.
Great. And for scale, we have a virtual demo cluster that we're happy to give you access to. It showcases the fact that you do not need to be near the technology in order to use it. We also have a spectacular NFR program, which helps get gear in your hands for a fraction of the price, and we're happy to talk to you about that program in more depth, but certainly have great programs between the 3 of us, and welcome a deeper dive into that.
Okay, so we're happy to stay on for just a few more minutes. We do want to be aware of everyone's time commitment. Thank you for giving us about 15 minutes longer than originally planned, but we're happy to stay here and answer any other questions. Remember, you can use either the chat feature or the question box, and we're happy to go into things as much detail as you like. Thank you, everybody, for attending. If you are headed back to the rest of the day in the afternoon.
And then there's one question if the requester of this one is online still. The solution, does it include the virtualization, or is it possible to use a different virtualization system? And so I'd like to touch on that one real quick if you're still on, or if the recording comes out. The virtualization platform is KVM based, open source. So we've eradicated VMware in environments, and you can still use your regular Windows servers and spin up open source servers. We've just automated the process by taking the virtual layer and automating everything. And so it's you still get all those enterprise features of auto failover. There's state machines that are monitoring your virtual machines, and if it detects anything potentially that can go wrong with the hardware, it'll auto failover, whether it be a local server or allow you to send the VM offsite to a disaster recovery site. The technology is quite interesting. We have a comprehensive technical read. I can send it over. It's a theory of operations, and it dives deep into all of this. So happy to share it with you. Feel free to email me, jsmith@scalecomputing.com. I get you all sorts of information to read.
Jacob, there's another question here that came from Gregory, again, if he's on the line. Can you briefly explain the Lenovo piece? He noticed that their hardware was included as the server component.
Yes, so Lenovo is a massive contributor to Scale Computing. For those of you who are Lenovo partners, the good news is you're already a Scale Computing partner. So in the Lenovo DCSE, you can configure Scale Computing hardware right out the bat. I'm happy to walk you through it and show you how a Scale sale can contribute to your overall Lenovo DCG numbers, and we're using all their platforms. So these servers you see on screen are the Lenovo SR250, the Lenovo SR630, and the 650, and they go right towards your Lenovo number. I'm happy to share more details, and if you reach out to me or your Lenovo counterpart, you're essentially reaching out to Lenovo and Scale at the same time.
Next question is, how is the solution sold into the marketplace? Do we use distributors, resellers, or do we go direct? I know all three of us have a very traditional channel model where we're working through authorized partners as from the reseller and support perspective, but then also through the indirect portion through the distribution networks. From Buffalo's perspective, we are distributed at Ingram Micro, Synnex, Tech Data, and D&H in the United States and Canada. Jacob, you would like to cover that for Scale?
Yep, so I just want to give a quick shout out to Vince Korb, who's sent in a really nice recommendation. He's worked with all three of us, and if you ever want to hear it directly from someone who's worked with all three vendors, a little bit biased, but an unbiased review of what it's like to work with us, I'm sure he'd be welcome to a call or an outreach. So I'm happy to introduce you guys. He's been a spectacular advocate for us, and we do not do anything direct. It's all partner driven. So we're big on making sure that we're putting profits into our partners' pockets. We want to help drive your business, because with your success, our success comes, and we're partner focused 100%. We work primarily through Ingram. We also work through some of the other distributors, being Interwork, who's since recently changed their name, and Synnex. But if you have a specific relationship or want to chat further, or are a Lenovo partner, we can accommodate any distribution that you work with. Eaton, over to you.
Very much like our partners here on the line, we work primarily with our channel partners. So very heavy with Ingram, Tech Data, Synnex for distribution. We're also with CDW, Insight, Connection, just about every major player that you're working with. Most likely, if you're working with them, we're probably working with them too.
Awesome.
Okay, I'm not seeing any other questions that we haven't addressed yet. It looks like they've kind of stopped coming in for right now. Maybe we'll give it one more minute, and then we'll turn it back over and close everything out. But I appreciate everyone participating today. So it's kind of a last call for any questions. Again, we're more than happy to schedule any kind of direct training for your teams. All three vendors are more than happy to sit down collectively as a solution and talk to you guys in much more detail about how everything is integrated. I think you will be very, very pleased. We have a number of positive testimonials from partners out in the community that will openly speak on our behalf, just like Vince did. I didn't even have to buy Vince a beer today to have him say that. So I appreciate that, Vince.
This time.
This time.
You won't get away with it for long.
And I just wanted to say, so I'm the Canadian person for Buffalo, but we have some great sales members on the US side as well. So if you, if we're talking to the US folks here, just grab my email, let me know, and we'll get you right over to your person in the US that's going to be able to help you for the Buffalo side.
Okay, well, there aren't any more questions, so we'll be respectful again of everyone's time and their commitment to us for participating today. Thank you very much, and we look forward to following up with everyone. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you all.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks. Goodbye.